Have you heard about the incoming changes to how buyer agents get paid in the recent lawsuits that's shaking things up? Stick around because today we're going to talk about what these changes mean for you, whether you're a homeowner or a seller. I'm Justin with William Ravis right here in Milford, Connecticut, and today we're diving into some big updates around buyer agent compensation that you need to know about. These changes come from a class action lawsuit from across the country. The National Association of Realtors has made a settlement to prevent further lawsuits from popping up. As part of this settlement, there are new rules that went into effect in July, and here's what you need to know. First off, sellers no longer are required to offer compensation to the buyer's agent. This means if you're selling your home, you can decide whether or not you want to pay an agent who brings in that buyer. Secondly, if sellers do decide to offer any compensation to the buyer's agent or provide any concessions to help the buyer, this information will no longer be listed on the MLS. This is a big shift from how things used to be. Thirdly, buyers will now be required to have a written agreement with their agent. This agreement will outline the buyer agent and how they will be paid and what their responsibilities are. This new rule will also come into effect last July. It's all about making sure everything is clear between the buyer and their agents. These changes are designed to protect both the buyers and the sellers, but do they bring some new challenges? For example, if sellers aren't offering to pay the buyer's agent, buyers need to be prepared to cover that cost themselves. So it's important to understand your options and what this could mean for your budget. Now, let's quickly go over the three main agreements involved in buying or selling a home. Number one is a residential listing agreement. This is what a seller signs to hire a listing agent. Not much is changing here except that the paperwork might include some new language stating it's okay not to offer anything to the buyer's agent. Number two is a buyer representation agreement. This will be the new requirement that took place in July, where buyers and their agents must agree in writing on the service provided and how the agent will be paid. If you're buying a home, you'll need to get familiar with this form. The third one is residential purchase agreement. This is the contract between the buyer and the seller that outlines the sale terms and transfer ownership of the property. So what does that all mean for you? Well, if you're a buyer, you'll need to have a clear understanding of how your agent will be compensated and what services exactly they will provide. This also is important to discuss different service levels with your agent to find out what works best for you. And for sellers, you have more flexibility now. You can choose whether to offer compensation to the buyer's agent or not. However, if you don't, it might limit the number of buyers who can afford to purchase your home, especially in areas like Milford, where budgets can be pretty tight and on the margins. Ultimately, these changes are about giving everyone more options and making the process way more transparent than it used to. If you have any questions or want to know more about these updates and how they can impact you, feel free to reach out. We're here to help navigate all these new rules and make sure you're fully prepared to buy or sell your next property. Thanks for watching. If you find this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share this. And if you're looking to move to Connecticut or you have any questions about buying or selling, check out my contact info in the description below. Stay tuned for our next video where I'll dive deeper into the buyer representation agreement and what you need to know about it.